Hello again. I don't know if you can relate because I don't know who you are and I don't think anyone's watching anyway, but I spent like a week. Oh shit, what's happening? I'm being fact checked. Okay, wait. Let's go to that. I spent a week building this thing, and there are 12 different scenes that do different things with my face. Just to prove it, I'll quickly show you. Like, here is a permanent UV map of my face, no matter where I'm looking, because I love the glitchiness of it, and that it kind of looks like a Mayan mask. Ooh, wow. Okay, things are happening that I am not asking for, but I'm down for it. And I have one that puts all the words on my face or my face. This is a bit too much for me right now, but yeah, okay. So anyway, spent a long time building this. I spent a long time building this stuff, but there's something, it all actually was about this. The dots on my face, the tracking of my facial features, this kind of node-based face, which is very much active and me, but it also hides the things that I feel would mute my message or would mute the communication that I really want to have with the internet. And I mean you. I mean that, yeah, right now I'm talking about things that I think most people can follow, but I have identified that my deepest interests and my special interests are something that I do share with people, and yet I don't have those people around me, and I don't necessarily want them around me, but I do want to feel like there are other people who are not always thinking about restaurants and drinking and sports and eating and TV and pop culture and Ariana Grande and eating and sports. Like, I know you're out there. I know that there's a group of people who are interested in, I don't know, reading the world like an interface. Should I just go for it? Should I just go for the deepest nodes of my deepest interests? I'm interested in the archetypal spirits that seem to arise in the pop culture figures of the times, where it seems like there are certain people who are harmonics of the same bass frequency, or overtones of the same bass frequency. It seems like everything is backwards. It seems like there's kind of some weird relationship that I think does meet in an infinite point, where the absolute opposite of everything that we think is true. And therefore everything becomes true and nothing becomes true. I think that there's so much that we could understand just by looking, by training how we're able to read everything. I think that people are seeking constantly to be told what to believe. And I think all the information that we seek is right in front of us. If we want to know more about ourselves, more about our purpose, more about the people that we spend time with, our relationships, our jobs, our diet, whatever, it's like everything is telling us everything we need to know all the time, but we haven't trained that legibility. And yet I know we have the capacity for it, because if you just think for a second how crazy it is that from 5 feet away, looking at a sheet of paper, if your eyesight is 20/20, you can actually derive meaning from tiny, tiny little scribbles of black on white that are, I mean, they're scribbles. And that is a hyper trained, what do you call that? Someone is, when they can read, whatever. They're ready. They're ready. And that could apply to everything. It could apply to looking at the veins on your body and understanding what that's saying. It could be looking at leaves. Maybe if you live your life in the forest, which some people did and some people still do. We have this incredible capacity to pick up on subtle changes between marks. And we all have kind of triangulated upon that as a power when it comes to the written word. And then you have these kind of slightly more niche, God, why am I blanking on this word? Whatever. People who can read sheet music, or people who can read, mathematicians. But everything is a hyper precise language that has an entire world of meaning behind it. And why we don't, I hate that just happened, but whatever. Why we don't apply the same rigor to those things is not just because we don't have enough time in a lifetime. We clearly have time because we spend so much of our time looking for answers. We spend all of our time looking for answers, but we accept 99% of those answers from other people who cannot answer our questions. And then we end up dying, and probably at the last minute of our lives, we're like, oh shit, those weren't my answers. My questions are still questions. And hey, good for you. I think questions should remain questions, but I think they should change and evolve. And I think we should get answers as well, but they should come from our experience and our ability to pick up on the signs. Everything is interfacing with us all the time. So that's a deep interest of mine. I also really like turtles, and I like fabrics.